How's it going, beautiful people of Takeover? Nnamdi Anyanike here to bring you a new segment on Takeover called Sports BTS. I'm here to do the dirty work and get the scoop from those who do the dirty work themselves in the sports industry. Today's guest is a favorite of mine. I've been following him for over 2 years now, and he boasts over 200,000 followers, and he's been amassing his following by creating edits for the top basketball recruits out of high school. His work has been featured on Bleacher Report and ESPN, and trust me, you have definitely seen his work if you follow sports on IG. Welcome to Sports BTS, Joe Tipton of TiptonEdits.
Yeah, so I am Joe Tipton. I run a Instagram and Twitter page called TiptonEdits, and basically I'm the source for high school basketball recruiting graphics. So I just started doing it as a hobby. I never imagined it would be anything like this and that I would be doing it now basically, full time as a living. It was just an interest. I liked editing photos on my phone, and I wanted people to recognize my work. I wanted it to be noticed by someone, like an NBA player wasn't going to see my graphics, or my edits. I knew like college kids weren't even going to see them. So I just reached out to high school kids, and, they had less followers. They weren't necessarily famous like they are now. Players wanted, something to post on social media saying I'm down to these 5 schools, or I'm committing to Kansas, or whoever it might be. And slowly but surely I was kind of the first guy in that space, and then I kind of secured my ground, and now I'm the go-to guy for all the kids.
Your page is huge. If you don't know, Joe has about 200,000 followers on Instagram. How long does it typically take for you to create like an edit for a prospect when it comes like a jersey swap or something?
But without a jersey swap, if for example, if they're already in the uniform, like if it's a photo of them like on their official visit, then it doesn't really take that long, like half an hour or something like that. But thankfully now I'm in a position where I have graphic designers that help me out. Hey, can you put this guy in a Kansas uniform? So that helps me, so I can divert my focus to other places besides just working on graphics 247. So I have a lot of help in that department. So
yeah, that's a good segue. I did have a question centered around that I was going to ask you. So do you guys all try to work together? Is there like competition out there of who's trying to get what information and be the first ones to put it out there?
There's not too much competition. There are several other pages very similar to mine that do the same thing. Players do post other graphics, besides just TiptonEdits, but it's never anything, personal. It isn't. I don't view it as like a competition.
So you did the jersey swaps for the McDonald's All-Americans, and they looked spectacular. Did you have prior knowledge of who was going to get nominated, and do you have like unused edits for guys like Sky Clark or Dior Johnson that just went unused?
Yeah, so the day before the rosters were announced, I basically went ahead and prepared I think it was 30 graphics, and yes, I have like a Dior one, and then like Sky Clark. But then maybe 4 or 5 hours before the actual announcement, I got my hands on the roster. So then but I didn't know I was going to get my hands on that roster. So then I was able to prepare like a little bit, a post. I put everything in the draft, like on Twitter, Instagram. So when it did make the official announcement, then I was able to just post.
I got one last actual question for you, and it's, what advice do you have anyone trying to compete and work in the graphic design industry for? Do you have any advice you want to give them?
So one piece of advice, the first thing that comes to mind is just to differentiate yourself. Obviously there's small differences in people's work, but if you can differentiate yourself in a vast way, that's going to benefit you so much more, because if you have 100 graphic designers and 80 of them work all looks the same, I don't know, it's easy to pick somebody else over the person with more original work, right? I understand the process behind wanting to get paid for your work, and you should get paid for your time, but at the same time, I wouldn't be where I was now if I didn't do free work for years. So if you take it really seriously, I think it would benefit you to do some work on the site. Don't overload yourself. Just spend an hour a day doing free work for people in exchange for a shout out or a tag on Instagram, because that's going to bring you clientele, followers, just allow you to network. And especially starting out, I would encourage just doing free work, kind of out of the goodness of your heart.
Definitely. Well, I want to say one more time, thank you so much, Joe. for joining me. You are really the people's champ. And honestly, this is a dream come true. You're one of my favorite Instagram accounts. Love your edits. Yeah, if you guys aren't following Joe Tipton yet, go follow. Check out his Instagram, TiptonEdits.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And Rock Chalk.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk, baby.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk. We love it.